Hi there, my name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. I make a whole bunch of beauty related content here on my channel, so I do hope that you will stick around for more and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up before you leave. Now, what we're planning on doing today is we are going to go through all of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I've tried in 2021. I have a stack of quite a little few. It's not huge. It's pretty realistic for your average day-to-day person. It may seem large for some and smaller for others, but I'm going to go through all these palettes that I've tried this year, and this is in no particular order. I'm not ranking them, but I'm going to tell you how I feel about them, my brief experiences, and I want to hear down in the comments what were your favorite eyeshadow palettes of 2021, and if you tried any of these, what were your experiences? Did you like them? Did you not? Are these also your favorites from this year? Because I want to know. Let a girl know down in the comments. But let's go ahead and get started. The first palette that we're going to be talking about today, mine is Dirty. I use this all the time. I love and adore it. I'm so glad I picked it up. But this is the Natasha Denona Glam Face and Eye Palette. Now this is what it looks like. I have mine in the dark version. So you have the cream blush and the highlight shade right up here in the top under this cover. Then down here you have 5 eyeshadows, all pretty neutral and very easy to wear. You've got 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. I really adore this palette. Honestly, I am so glad that I picked it up and I got to try these eyeshadows. I dip into this palette sometimes just for this metallic shade right here. I love it. It's so glittery. It catches these shimmers, like both of them. They catch the light so amazingly. Like if I'm going to a party or I'm going out on a date, low lighting, and I want to sparkle, I'm either grabbing for this or Pat McGrath. Like, let's be real. The next eyeshadow palette I'm going to be talking about is from Nars, and honestly, until that Glam Face and Eye palette came out, I thought this was my favorite neutral palette of 2021. I hadn't found anything else that had been released this year that was so comparable, but this is what she looks like. I love Nars' eyeshadow formula, guys. This is the Summer Solstice eyeshadow palette, and it is stunning. If you are still able to get your hands on this eyeshadow palette, I highly recommend it to any of my neutral loving eyeshadow people. The shimmers, it's like there's 2 different shimmer formulas in this palette. You have your nice, more subtle sheen, like a sophisticated shimmer, and then you have some more that are like flaky and glittery and piecey, and they just look wet on your eye. This shade right here in particular, this one as well, they just look wet when you apply them on your eye, and I love that look. I'm so into it right now. I just want it everywhere. If you can't tell, I love to be super glowy and shiny, so this was right up my alley. And I want to try more from Nars in the future. I have no gripes about this palette. It's a solid one. Have you guys gotten your hands on this? Does anybody have anything to say? I feel like as far as like Nars releases this year, this is one that was kind of slept on my opinion. I feel like I didn't hear really any influencers or anything talk about this. I really do feel like this palette was slept on this year. I mean, I know Nars had released that other eyeshadow palette this year, the one with the greens and the reds and whatnot for holiday, that you could only get on their website, but I feel like no one really talked about this during the summer when it came out, and I mean, the packaging is beautiful as well. Like, look at that. Nars always does amazing packaging. Now the next eyeshadow palette I'm going to be talking about is from an indie brand, so that's super exciting. This is the Lethal is Dead collaboration eyeshadow palette between Lethal Cosmetics and Theresa is Dead here on YouTube. If you haven't seen her channel, definitely go check it out. Like, what are you doing? She's great. But this is my palette. I just love these colors. I've created some fun ones with this. I've created some fun ones, guys. And Lethal's matte formula is just like, it's so good. It's like right up there with like Natasha Denona for me. So I'm so glad that I have this palette. My favorite shades in particular are Spellbound and Ancient Evil. I just love these 2 metallics. I like to put them all over my lids. They're just stunning, guys. Like, Look at those shimmers. So pretty. Now, unfortunately, you can't get this palette anymore. It was a collab, so it was limited edition, but I had to mention it. I've had such a good little time with this guy. She's been awesome. Now, moving right along, we're going to talk about something from Juvia's Place. They released earlier this year their bronze rustic range, and it had a whole bunch of different stuff. They had lip glosses, all kinds of stuff, right? And this is the little 6pan, the bronze rustic eyeshadow palette. I use this a lot. Like when I need a quick on-the-go look, I use this. I just pop this in my crease, maybe deepen it up a little bit with this, and then this goes all over my lid and I'm out the door. It is just such a handy little guy to have. And it sits usually on the end of my dressing table, waiting for me to grab it at a moment's notice. Juvia's Place has a pretty solid formula, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Their mattes are usually pretty good and their shimmers are usually great as well. I'm not a fan of their pressed glitters, but luckily this palette doesn't have that. So yeah, I liked this one too. This one was also really good. And I like that it had like this pop of like corally red. It was definitely different. I've only used that shade once, so I need to, you know, be more adventurous with red. Red is definitely not my color of choice. If I'm gonna go for colorful eyeshadow, I'm doing like pink, purple, blues and greens. Red is scary. Another one of my most loved palettes that has been released this year is going to be, and I have to be very careful because one of my shades popped out last week when I was doing a similar video, but this is my Natasha Denona Retro Eyeshadow Palette. She is gorgeous, just a mauve, pinky, purpley dream. Any girl that likes pink, or guy that likes pink or purple, cooler, mauvier tones, you definitely would love this palette. It's a 10 out of 10. Natasha Denona's formula is just so amazing, and you can count on it every time. At least with this palette anyway, and the palettes that I have had experience with, I've never been gypped by her formula. It's always been stunning, and I just love that we have, you know, some classic creamy mattes, we have some cream to powder, we have those nice chunky metallic topper shades, and we have some more sophisticated shimmers here in the sky right here, and it's just an awesome palette. So if you have the chance to get this, I would definitely. I don't think it's going anywhere, but she's good, she's golden. Also, I mean, when this was released, I didn't think that it was going to be the color story it was, and that did shock me. And knowing that it came out to be so pink and so purple heavy, I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I do. I expected it to be green heavy. It was obviously not, but this eyeshadow palette's really gained a special place in my collection. Let's talk about Pat McGrath, guys. So this eyeshadow palette is pretty awesome. It's Huetopian Dream. It's what I have on my eyes right now as we speak. And of course, I'll have all of my makeup details listed down in the description box for you guys. But this is Huetopian Dream. Look at her. She is gorgeous. These mattes are just stunning. You got a multi-chrome in here, plus 3 Astral Blitz shades, and it's just... That's how I feel every time I put this on my eyes. Just... all of my worries just wash away. I love it. It takes me to a happy place. And when you pay $125 for an eyeshadow palette, it damn better be taking you to a happy place. Now, I didn't pay $125 for mine. I got mine on sale, but you know, same difference. And I love all the different looks that I can create with this. I can be more pink heavy. I can go golden. I can be a little bit bronzy. I could pop in some coral. We have a little nude shimmer right here. It's a very nice palette that delivers high impact, and I love it. It's great. Another eyeshadow palette I tried this year was from VIEVE. Now, VIEVE was a brand I was really interested in from the start. I wasn't able to pick up any of the products, you know, in their initial launch, but I went ahead and picked some up in like September, October. I feel like about middle, later half of the year. And this is the Muse eyeshadow palette. It is very pretty. There she is right there. I probably should have done that with all the palettes, but I am sorry. I'm just trying to get a video done for you guys. But this is what she looks like. Very soft, very pink purple. It came out around the same time as the retro palette from Natasha Denona. So it was really interesting to see two palettes from two different brands on two different continents have similar, you know, themed eyeshadow. Apparently this was trending this fall. But yeah, this is a solid palette, guys. The mattes from VIEVE are always great. They're always smooth, buttery, easy to blend. And the shimmers in this palette definitely are way improved from the first palette. So I'm very pleased with that. And I don't think you can go wrong with this. This is a very nice palette. I would travel with this. I know that anytime I dip into it, I'm going to create a nice look. And it's very good. I think that if you're somebody who wants something soft and easy to wear, doesn't want muss and fuss with blending, and you need something more wearable for work, maybe this would be a really good option for you. Last but not least, Pat McGrath, a Celestial Odyssey. This is what she looks like. I'm not going to hold it open the whole time, but there is a nice little overview of the palette. I didn't cut my string, so I'm going to hold it. I'll hold her like this. This palette is amazing. It has every shade you could ever possibly want. The looks you can create with this bad boy are endless. I have a 3 looks 1 palette video with this palette as well, so if you would be so inclined to check that out, I would greatly appreciate it. But it's a stunning palette, guys. You've got those chunkier glittery shimmer formulas, you've got smoother, more sophisticated ones. The mattes are just as impeccable as always. And I know, like, when I was first starting to get into Pat McGrath, people were like, ugh, Pat McGrath's mattes are hit or miss. I've tried 3 Pat McGrath palettes now, and so far the mattes have been real good, guys. So I don't know. I'm sorry, my camera had shut off, so we're back now. But we were talking about Mega Mothership Celestial Odyssey from Pat McGrath, guys. This is the last palette we're talking about, and honestly, it's one of my favorite out of this whole stack. I know I wasn't ranking anything, but this is just a great palette, and it's such a great value to be able to dip your toes into Pat McGrath's formula for like $78. If you were able to catch this during the Sephora sale, you could have gotten 20% off if you were VIEVE Rouge. And honestly, this is still, I think, on Pat McGrath's website, so keep your eyes out for any more sales, because I also know that Bridgerton collection launched today, and when it did, what was it? Midnight Sun was $75. I don't know if she's planning on discontinuing that, but keep your eyes out, guys. If you're interested in that palette, if you're interested in it, you might want to grab it because it is $75 on sale. I don't know if she's discontinuing it or what, but saying my piece. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this eyeshadow palette favorites of 2021. These were my favorite eyeshadow palettes this year. I really loved every single one of these new ones that came in my collection. I'm not somebody who picks up every new release. I really do pick and choose. I wait and see if that palette speaks to me, and if it does, then I get it. But, you know, all in all, they were great palettes. They're great additions, and I've got great use out of every single one of them, so I'm quite pleased with myself. And like I said before, guys, if you've tried any of these eyeshadow palettes, I would love to know if they were your favorites this year, what your experiences were, good or bad. Leave them down in the comments. Let's have a chat about makeup. That's what we're here to do. So until next time, guys, bye.